nations, they don't sleep. They're watching our every move. Iran, Russia, China, North Korea, ISIS, Al-Qaeda. They may be watching this right now. Our military should not be mistaken for a cable news gabfest show. We don't care what you look like. We don't care who you voted for, who you worship, what you worship, who you love. It doesn't matter if your dad left you millions when he died or if you knew who your father was. We have been honed into a machine of lethal moving parts that you would be wise to avoid if you know what's good for you. We will not be intimidated. We will not back down. We've seen war. We don't want war. But if you want war with the United States of America, there's one thing I can promise you, so help me God. Someone else will raise your sons and daughters.
I want to make it clear that the views expressed by our hosts are not considered the official stance of MBR Views. Remember, this is all about having fun and enjoying the ride.
Find us on the web at mbradio.com.
Welcome back to the Battle Rhythm Podcast. I am Caesar. Welcome back. It's been a couple weeks. Actually, I think I was on last week. I don't remember. It's been such a long week, and it was a Labor Day weekend, so it's pretty much one of those things that sometimes you don't remember that you're doing or what you're doing. So it's been one of those weeks already, and it's already Tuesday today, so really a Monday, and it's a short week as it is. So I hope you guys had a very, very good Labor Day weekend. So today is September 3rd. Of 2024. So I think there is only 16 Saturdays left before Christmas, and that is crazy to me that Christmas is literally right around the corner. It seems like we just had something, and it was just one of those things, So I'm just glad we're almost toward the end of the year, so we're good to go. So welcome back, everybody. Thanks for joining us. And we have a packed show with me today. Grizz is out and about doing dad things today, so he will be probably in and out later on today. And we will be here for a little while. So you know how that goes. It's gonna be a solo show. So basically, it's gonna be a Seinfeld show filled with a whole lot of nothing today. I did have was supposed to have a guest today, but they were unable to make it today, so we're going to have to reschedule them at a later time, and then we're going to be talking about their organization. So, like always, we'll always try to reschedule. So we understand that things do come up here in our lifetime, so we have to be very understanding of that. So thanks for you guys for making sure that we're still on the air, so we're good to go, and making sure that those guests are also taken care of as well. So that always goes well. But our I believe our phone lines are open, may be open, may not be open, and it will be good. So we'll check them out in a minute, and then I'll post that number when we get there. Once we are good to go. So you guys are good. So anybody out today? We had, like I said, Labor Day weekend this weekend. It was packed, I think. I did a lot on Friday. I can't wait for the winter season to be here, so I don't have to do the lawn anymore because it's a good 6 months of not doing lawn, so that's always fun. But today was a little rainy. It wasn't too bad. So we had a little bit of rain this weekend, and it was just kind of spontaneous, and little droplets here and there. So it wasn't too bad, not too bad at all. So I hope you guys we're good. So all right. So like I said, we are gonna have a packed show today with a bunch of nothing, and we are going to make sure that we get you started with the right thing to do. So let's see. Let's take a look at today's history. Today's history is going to be brought to you by Mr. Pibb extra. Seems like every week I have one of these things, but it's cool. The only other place that I've ever, I don't know if you guys are out and out and about. I know California has them all the time. So, Del Taco. Del Taco has Mr. Pibb, and sometimes I prefer Mr. Pibb over Dr. Pepper, just because it has a little bit different taste. It's a little bit, it's not plum, it's cherry. So it has a little bit different taste than what it is. So, and I think it's a little bit better even than cherry Coke or even a cherry Pepsi. So we'll have the debate, but I don't think anybody's ready for that debate today quite yet. So we'll see how that goes. So all right, let's take a look. So today in 1976 marks the landing for Viking 2 Mars landing. So after nearly a year-long journey, NASA's robotic spacecraft Viking 2 landed on Mars on this day in 1976 and began relaying information about the planet's atmosphere and soil as well as color photographs of the rocky space. So that was 1976. An American architect, Louis Sullivan, was born September 3rd, 1856 in Boston, Massachusetts, and he passed away on April 14th, 1924 at the age of 67 in Chicago, Illinois. Let's see, what else? What happened on your birthday? Well, I don't know what happened on my birthday, but let's see what else we have. Ooh, actually, there was a series on Netflix about this person. In 2012, Colombian drug trafficker Griselda Blanco. I think she was the known as one of the big kingpins back in during the Colombian you war on drugs, especially cocaine, I believe. So it's Colombian drug trafficker Griselda Blanco, who was a leading figure in the Miami drug scene in the 1970s and early 80s, and was known as a good mother of cocaine. She was fatally shot in Medellin, Colombia. So that was in 2012. Like I said, there is a series in Netflix about her life, and she was pretty ruthless. It kind of goes along with the Queen of the South, or La Reina del Sur, which is actually I recommend if you guys are going to watch that type of entertainment. I recommend the Spanish version. The La Reina del Sur is very very good. So that would be my recommendation to you. One thing I'm really really excited about is actually going to come out in September 15th. It's going to be Tulsa King is returning in the second season with Sylvester Stallone. The first season was actually fantastic, and I cannot wait for it to come out, and I'm excited about it. So I'm gonna let a few episodes run so I can actually just kind of binge it, because it's such a good show. So I'm hoping that the rest of the cast that was there on that one comes back. So the entire cast. So that'll be good. And they left a pretty big cliffhanger. So he got arrested once again, and I don't know if you guys know the plot, but he was a big capo in the mafia, during the 70s and 80s, and he went to federal prison for about 25 years. And when he comes out, they basically sent him out to Tulsa and had basically like pretty much to forget him, because it was a change of leadership, and the person who he had he was loyal to was no longer loyal to him, so they sent him and relegated him to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and man, he started right away, and it was just a great show. So he gets they left it with a cliffhanger, being that he was arrested one more time. So it was a really good show. So I'm excited about that one. And then let's see, 2001, American film critic Pauline Kael, an outspoken reviewer for the New Yorker magazine, who was celebrated as much as for the proactive style of her writing as the content, died in Massachusetts. In 1991, American director Frank Capra, who was best known for a series of beloved films that included Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, with another veteran actually, and he was probably, I believe he's the highest ranking um, veteran as far as celebrities go, Mr. Jimmy Stewart. He was a brigadier general in the Army National Guard. And also, It's a Wonderful Life, again, with Jimmy Stewart, and he died at the age of 94. So that would be good. Let's see, 1971, Qatar officially became an independent from the United Kingdom. 1970, American professional gridiron football coach Vince Lombardi became a national symbol of a single-minded determination to win, known for the leading the Green Bay Packers to the victories in the first two Super Bowls. Died at the age of 57. Quite young, if you ask me. But 1962, American poet and painter E.E. Cummings, who was first attracted attention in the age of literary experimentation for his unconventional punctuation and phrasing, died at the age of 67. In 1894, a little ways, Labor Day was celebrated as a legal holiday in the United States for the first time. And as you know, it's actually not till a little bit later that it actually became, it was voted in to actually have it on a Monday, because it was actually on the weekend, and then somebody got smart and said, "Yeah, no, I think we're gonna have a on a Monday, the first Monday of September, and that'll be our Labor Day." So, 1783, the Treaty of Paris, part of the Peace of Paris, was signed between Britain and the United States. Going back to the 17th century, 1658, English soldier and statesman Oliver Cromwell died in London. And in 1609, English navigator Henry Hudson, with the Hudson Bay up in Canada, in a quest for a passage to India on behalf of the Dutch East India Company, sailed into the harbor of present-day New York City and up the river that now bears his name. So the Hudson River and the Hudson Bay, as it is. So also more events on today. Just do a couple here. More of the popular ones that you guys are pretty much aware of, or should know anyway, as far as pop culture is concerned. Mother Teresa in 2016. She was the founder of the Order of the Missionaries of Charity and winner of the 1979 Nobel Peace Prize. Was canonized by Pope Francis I. So it means that she is a saint, Saint Teresa. So she was canonized on this day in 2016. 2014, the American entertainer Joan Rivers, who also voiced the robot in Spaceballs, you guys remember that, who first gained fame in the 1960s as a nightclub and television comic known for the catchphrase "Can we talk?" and later became the critiqued celebrities' wardrobes. She passed away this date in 2014 in New York City. And let's do one more. And American singer Kelly Clarkson became the first winner of the reality television series American Idol on this date in 2002. So, yeah, that's your day in history for the day. That's pretty some pretty big names there. So it's pretty good. It's fun. So, all right. Well, we are going to take our first break. When we come back, we're going to go do some more do about nothing. So hopefully Grizzly will be back by then, and we'll get started. And sorry about that. We're going to start calling some other people. Maybe we can get them into on the phone, and we'll get it started. So you are listening to the Battle Rhythm Podcast on Military Broadcast Radio.
It's the guts and it's the glory. 100 stripes, 100 stories. It's the Pledge of Allegiance on the 4th of July. It's them handwritten letters from home. It's them sleepless nights alone. It's his newborn baby he left with his wife. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, hear the line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Hey, from the fields of Indiana to the swamps of Louisiana to the golden coast of California, Uncle Sam's the only family he's got. His purple heartbeat won't stop, and his 18th birthday was the day he was born. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, hear the light. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. March in line, march in line. Hey. Hey.
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Welcome back to the Battle Rhythm Podcast. I am Caesar. You're listening to us through Military Broadcast Radio and brought to you by Mr. Pibb Extra. Today, I'm sorry. I'm tired today. Long day, long weekend. Not long enough. I did have a 4-day weekend, which was actually kind of nice. But at the same time, it's like you're tired. You get to be tired. So it is what it is. But I don't know if you guys have been following TikTok. If you guys do follow TikTok, there is this account or this guy that it's actually his TikTok account is called The Older Millennial. Well, apparently he has been beefing with another guy, Jolly Good Ginger or something, Ginger Jolly Roger or something like that. Anyway, this ginger guy apparently said that if you are a veteran, you are incorrect. You're a disgrace to the uniform if you're not voting for Kamala Harris. Now, I'm not trying to get political about this whole thing. I'm just trying to make a point about this, that and this has happened before to me because of saying that because I'm a Hispanic, I'm supposed to be voting a certain way. I'm like, I don't think so, and it's not the way it works. I mean, everybody is entitled to do their own research, and if their beliefs align with your beliefs, and that's the way you should be voting, right? I mean, that's the way it's supposed to be. That's why we are an educated society, and that's why we're able to do certain things. Anyway, to go back to this, to the point is that they've been going back and forth, and this whole thing about them being being a disgrace, or us being a disgrace about the not voting for a certain way. It shouldn't be that. This should never be like that, because how are you going to tell me what I'm supposed to? It's like me telling, it's like going back to being like in first grade or something. Like, your mom's gonna tell you, your parents are gonna tell you, yeah, you're gonna put these shoes on. If you don't eat, you're not gonna be like. It doesn't work that way. This is why we're able to educate ourselves, to align ourselves with whoever has the closest to our own beliefs. That's the way we should vote anywhere you vote, and regardless of whether or not you're a veteran or you're not. Nobody should tell you which way to vote or why you should vote for that person. Well, you know what I mean, or for that specific party at all, ever, because that's not the way that our democracy was supposed to be, to work, and that's why we have free speech. We have our own right to actually do what we do, and that's it. Nobody should tell you how to do it. So, that's my 2 cents on it, and that's where I'm gonna leave it. Anyway, the whole thing has just gotten out of control. They go back and forth between stitching each other's contents, and actually there's 3 or 4 other people that actually are getting onto this older millennial. They're talking about lawsuits about this whole thing, and it's a mess. And if you're gonna publicly criticize other people, and you have a public persona or a public anything, be very careful on what you post and what you say and what you do, because everything now in our society is pretty much recorded. Nobody has no censorship about anything, and they're going to dig up things that you didn't even know that you had or existed. So all I'm saying is just be careful about certain things that you say and do, especially if you have a public platform like we do, to say certain things, and be very careful about how you phrase things, and That's why I always try to stay on the outside of the political realm, because that's not me. That's not what what I'm about. I'm not gonna sit here and debate you on certain things about politics, because that's not the way it's for me. It's not the way that it should go. And my show is not designed for that. My intent for this is to bring awareness on certain um, things and how people can deal with their own issues like PTSD or any other things, and then highlighting a lot of these different organizations that help out the veteran. You know what I mean? Because I know that the VA, excuse me, I know that the VA is as much as they want to say that they are not, they are helping. I think they missed the mark on a lot of things, and I'm not trying to say that it's a bad thing. I'm saying they miss a mark on a lot of things, especially like mental health. There's people that actually have not gotten the help that they need, and it's not through any fault of their own, or they take forever to get the care that they need because the VA is so overworked and overspent, and they take forever to get even referrals. So that's just a different monster altogether. But you know that's what we're here for. So that's what my show is about, and we'll make sure that if you need help, we'll try to get you to the right people and go through the process that we have. So there are a lot of us that have gone through the bad times and the good times. So we have a lot of different resources that we can reach out to if you're having any issues. But I am the phone lines are open, so you can call or text 720-619-0627. Those are the phone lines to the studio. If you feel inclined to actually call us in, and we can talk about today's a show about really nothing and everything. So um no politics aside, and that's I try to like I said, I try to stay away from politics altogether. That's not my show. And then if you if you're gonna do that, that's not the show for here. So I always agree to disagree, and I think our society has forgotten how to do that lately. We agree to disagree, and move on from there. So a lot of people somehow forget certain things like that, and I don't understand why. I should be able to keep my own opinions about certain things, and I respect your opinion just like I expect you to respect mine. So, but somehow our society has forgotten that little small part. So, that's how it is, what it is. But all right. Okay, so we are going to do a couple of house things. Um, this Saturday, not this Saturday, sorry, September 14th. There are a couple things going on in the community here in my area. There is a Hispanic Heritage Community Festival that's going to happen in Sherman, Texas. They're going to have a mariachi. They're also going to have a band. The band that actually opened up for AB Quintanilla, which I talked about a few weeks, or excuse me, in July. They're going to be here opening up, and it's going to be from 11 to 8 o'clock, and it's going to be they're going to have a car show. They're going to have like lowriders. They're going to have, I think we're going to try to have um, the cars that actually are hydraulics. We're going to have that, and it's going to be pretty fun. There's going to be kids kids area. I believe they're going to have some water events there, because they have a couple of things that they're going to have to be able to do. So that's going to be super fun. That's going to be September 14th, which is a Saturday, from 11 to 8. And then the next morning, we're actually going to be leaving. I'm going to be going to a rock march in Benbrook for the VFW post there in Memorial Benbrook. It's going to be super fun. I have not done a rock march in quite a long time, so I don't know if my back can even take it anymore. So I'm probably just going to have like, my little backpack with water, my Camelback, and call it a day and say, oh nope, this is 25 pounds this is at a minimum. So we're going to do that. It should be fun. I'm looking forward to that, and we're going to be supporting the Benbrook Post, the VFW Benbrook Post, that they're going to put it. This is an annual thing that they have, so we're going to be doing that this week on the weekend of the 15th. I don't know if anybody cares or anything like that, but there is actually a Kane Brown concert that's going to happen also on September 14th. That's going to happen on that same day. So, there's a lot of people are going to be happy about that because he's a pretty big ticket right now, apparently. And I think yours truly is going to be at that concert that night. So it's going to be super fun. I'm going to be super tired the next morning when we do the Rock March, but we're going to be supporting another post, and it's going to be nice. So that's what we're trying to do, to support other posts and make sure that they come support ours. So I want to talk about something that happened last week with the Department of Alabama State Commander Eric Dudash. If you guys want any more information in regards to his fishing tournament, that's going to be November 2nd and 3rd. It's going to be down in Alabama. Either give us a call or through our social media. Please let us know what if you want more information on that. And it is open for everyone. They're going to have some good prizes. They're going to have some good people. I believe I think he did say that some of the Alabama members, the group Alabama, they are known to be in that area, so they might even be there. And you never know. It's a pretty big. It's going to be a pretty big event. So I unfortunately will not be able to go, but I will see them. I will see the Department of Alabama on the weekend after, because we are going to be doing the podcast at the Southern Conference coming from Nashville, Tennessee this year. So we're going to be over there doing that. So that should be fun. And it's going to, I can't wait. That's going to be super, 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 super fun. So it'll be good. But we are going to take yet another break. It's time for our second break of the evening. And when we come back, we are going to talk about more of anything and nothing at all. So stay tuned. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Too big, wanting to grow up way too quick, searching for spotlights since I was 6. Hello, my name is Dream Too Big. Hello, my name is way too loud. My voice can cut right through the crowd. God make fun of for it, but who's laughing now? Hello, my name is way too loud. I know I've had my moments and I've had heartaches. God is making miracles out of my mistakes. You can say I won't make it, and I can tell you that I don't really care. 'Cause hello, my name is going somewhere. Far. Lost all my words in a mason jar. Locked eyes with a stranger at the end of the bar. Hello, my name is You'll Go Far. Well, hello, my name is One More Try. I put too much stock in bad advice. 'Cause anything worth leaving is worth loving twice. You You're never gonna leave the ground. You can tell us all about it when you come back around. Hello, my name is Get Knocked Down. Hello, my name is Stand Back Up. Keep moving even when it gets rough. I've given so much, but I ain't giving up. Hello, my name is Stand Back Up. I know I've had my moments and I've had heartaches, but God is making miracles out of my mistakes. You can say I won't make it, and I can tell you that I don't really care. 'Cause hello, my name is going somewhere. Going
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Welcome back to the Battle Rhythm Podcast. I am Caesar, and you are listening to us through Military Broadcast Radio. Again, that was Lauren Rose there. I think she is through the next round for the competition she's going through for a new artist down in Nashville. So, they check her out. I believe she does have the her website. So go through Lauren Rose there, and it's pretty cool. So, I just heard back from Eric Dudash. He says he's the commander from Alabama. He says he sends his regards to everybody, and he wanted to be on the show, but I told him no. I'm kidding. No, he said he's in the meeting, unfortunately, and he is doing his state commander duties right now, and it's not something that that he wishes on anybody. So we'll keep him in our prayers, because a lot of times they don't. This is the being a commander is not always what it's cracked out to be. So it's cool to be, but sometimes it's one of those things that you don't want to do. So we'll see how that goes. Well, good for him. So we'll do that. You know what? There was something that I wanted to cover tonight, um, which I already did, I believe, with the whole uh, posting of people going back and forth and just beefing, and it's not desired. So like I said, nobody can tell you what you should vote for, who you should vote for. This is something you need to do your own research, and whatever aligns for you is what should go. And that's why it works, because the democracy is the best way to do it. You know what I mean? So this is your prerogative. And this is what you need to do, and align yourself with the things and whoever your candidate is to vote. That's should be no other way to do it. So yeah. So we'll just leave it at that. And I know I'm beating a dead horse at this point, which it is fine. But a lot of times I feel like some people um may not take that into consideration, or may not want it to do it that way. So what I mean. So, but it is what it is. So we'll pray for those people, and hopefully they'll be able to just relax and allow us to do what we need to do. So all right. So another news. I think, have you guys been following the Paralympics at all? I read this afternoon that there was a Paralympian from one of the Middle East countries. I believe it was Iran. Anyway, this man is I think he's the second tallest man in the world right now. He is I believe 8 foot tall, and he's a Paralympian, and he has been forced I kid you not, to sleep on the ground. And as we know, they had that whole like sleeping arrangement that they had was a fiasco. It was bad. Apparently, a lot of people, it was hot, humid. They had like cardboard, um, cardboard beds, and it was they're trying to be this green for the environment, and it was a total failure. And apparently, this Paralympian was forced to sleep on the ground. As it is, he's already at a disadvantage because he is 8 foot tall, and is having a hard time as it is. And being forced to sleep on the floor is just not to me, it's not a humane way of doing things for that. So um, I hope that he didn't suffer any more injuries than he already has, because sleeping on the floor, I mean, if you've been in the military, you've slept anywhere, and the floor is one of them. So a lot of times we just find a place to rest our head and wake up with whatever, and then right back to work. So those 4 hours that you're supposed to get asleep, they don't necessarily have to be consecutively. So that was one of the things that I remember quite vividly, that it was not the way it was supposed to do. So uh, yeah. So hopefully that Paralympian didn't get any more damage, and he's doing well, and hopefully he'll be able to do his events and participate the way he's supposed to. And we'll see how that goes. So uh, the best for them. So I don't know whether they're almost over or not. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Um, we'll see what's gonna happen later on. But I don't know. We'll see. Well, we're gonna do another video because I'm waiting for a guest that I reached out to, and hopefully they'll be coming back. So we're gonna go to another break real quick to show another video. And this one's gonna be Scotty Frazier. So he was on a show a couple weeks ago with our Wednesday show with two hits and a mic, and he was there. He sang a couple of his songs, and it was awesome. And we're trying to support him here as well, because he was also Marine vet, so he knows the struggle. And a lot of these songs that he writes are about personal experiences. So he did an awesome cover of the other one, so it's super super cool. So his songs are he's a songwriter, obviously, and all his songs that he's got so far are speaking of the heart, from the heart, and his experiences and how he felt during that time. And man, I think we can all relate to how we were sometimes, being deployed, and you have some time to reflect on your own. Um, you've Even though you're around people, you kind of feel the loneliness that the deployment brings, because you're really alone with your thoughts at that point in time. And a lot of people are not able to withstand, to be alone, during that time or whatnot. And they try to fill the time with a lot of different activities, being that, doing PT, or, going in and playing, basketball, MWR, whatever it was. Some people you don't want to do all that stuff. So, it's just one of those things that sometimes we struggle with, and we don't it's one of those unwritten laws, I guess, that nobody really talks about and nobody really wants to talk about, because, you're gonna be seen as um a weak soldier, or, weak um service member. And it shouldn't be that way. You shouldn't be shamed about how you're feeling, because if you're feeling lonely, I mean, that's a way of not trying to cope in certain ways. And we as service members should be supportive of everybody else. We should be able to see those signs of when people are having or struggling to do certain things. And I think that sometimes I'm guilty of it. I missed a couple of things when I was deployed. But certain people, I think I got into my own head, where I was really just worried about me getting through the whole thing, that I forgot about certain certain things that I was supposed to do. And it affects, sometimes it affects the performance, sometimes it affects the things you do. And fortunately for me, I had a good support group, good leadership that helped me through um, certain struggles that I had during that time, and it's really what it is about. I mean, that's why the talking about it, and a lot of times it's good for us. And now that I've been able to seek the help with different therapies and um, different groups, vocalizing some of the compartmentalized things that feelings that I had, um, made me realize a lot about not only myself but only the things that I was going through at that point in time. And I encourage you, everyone, to seek out help, um, even if you feel like you're in a good place. There's nothing wrong with doing some what we call quote unquote maintenance, a little maintenance here and there. It goes a long way. Um, One way of doing it would be to write down your feelings, like Scott did with his song, because I think sometimes when you kind of just kind of flowing through and writing certain things, you'll discover things about yourself that you didn't know. And I have done that quite often. And I want to share a story with you guys, that I was listening to on my way to work this morning, about a song that I really, really enjoy. It's a song that was written in the golden era of cinema in Mexico, um, by a very talented songwriter, and he was seeing this lady, this woman. He was seeing her, and he fell madly in love with her head over heels, and he was like, oh, he got out early from work and he was gonna go through to his town, and he got he got hungry, so he's driving down the street. He's driving down the road, and he sees this diner. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna pull in, see what it is. So, mind you, this he had been seeing this lady for for about a year, and she lived in a different town. So every time she would come in and work, and they would go out and have a good time. Like I said, he fell in love with her head over heels and everything. So he goes into this diner, not knowing who it is, and like I said, he was driving down and going to see his family and everything. He pulls in, and he sees her at a table with one of his other friends. Now, obviously, he wasn't really a friend; he was an acquaintance, and sees her. And at that point in time, no words were said between either one of them. And the friend that she was seeing, was there with. Obviously, she was seeing both of them at the same time. And the friend that he claimed to be his friend said, "You guys know each other?" But no words were ever exchanged. He was so upset that he walks out, says nothing, gets in his car, and starts driving. And he was pissed. Like, I mean, he was pissed. Obviously, I mean, you see your girlfriend that you thought was your girlfriend, with another man, sees her, and he just jets right, gets back on the road, and let's start getting headed home. Um, and like any good writer, what does he have? A pencil or pen and paper. And he's driving, and next thing you know, stops and writes down several words, or sorry, two lines, two sentences, and didn't know. Again, he just starts driving one more time. Anyway, he takes about 20 stops within that. That song that I'm talking about became the fourth most listened song of any Mexican artist, and the song it's called "Échame a mí la culpa," which is it's tell me I'm guilty. I'm the one that's guilty, or throw the guilt at me, because even though he was so mad, he still wanted her to be happy. And when the story goes that as when he's walking out of the diner, he's in tears, bawling, and he just leaves. That song, I'll try to play it later on today, and hopefully I'll get the subtitles underneath. But it is such a song from the heart. But my point is that you don't know when you're going to be able to write that inspiration, especially if you're going through a tough time. And a lot of you guys all know that when a hit song comes, it usually comes from an experience of either a death or a birth or something that writer has been going through, and then it's manifested in that song. He said that was his greatest song that he ever written because it came from the heart, and it was just one of those things. So the point I'm making is that Scotty Frazier does the same thing. He writes down everything he feels at that point in time. So you'll never know when you're going to do that. And if you're going through a tough time, sometimes it's best to just kind of write it down and getting yourself into that thought process and writing things down, be able to help you get through that stuff. So we're gonna listen to one of Scott Frazier's songs, and when we do, we're gonna come back and we're gonna get right back into it. So we're already 45 minutes in, so let's hear it, and we'll be back in a few minutes. Again, you are listening to the Battle Rhythm Podcast on Military Broadcast Radio.
In Carolina, dancing on the sand. She's a star that's slipping through my hands, like the ones that fell on Alabama. She's red, white, and blue. Red, white, and blue. She's my kind of girl, 'cause she's red, white, and blue. Get you high as the Colorado skies, and she shines like those New York City lights. As tough as Texas, and brother, she just might knock you to the ground if you start a fight. She's red, white, and blue. Red, white, and blue. She's my kind of girl, 'cause she's red, white, and blue. She'll wait there in the harbor, holding up her light. She'll bring a fallen soldier home underneath her stripes.
You are listening to the Battle Rhythm Podcast on Military Broadcast Radio, brought to you by LT Defense. You can find us on the web by going to mbradio.us. You can also download the app on the Apple Store and Google Play.
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Welcome back to the Battle Rhythm Podcast. I am Caesar, and we are on Military Broadcast Radio, also YouTube, YouTube, Amazon Fire Stick, and Roku TV. So yeah, we've been picked up, and it's cool. I was just talking to Mr. Jimmy Quattriocchi. I can never say his name right, and I know how to read it. I just can't ever say it right. But he is from Aspen Dental. He is actually always listening to us. So thank you, Jimmy, for listening to the show, Battle Rhythm Podcast. You can always come back anytime you want. And he was at obviously a Labor Day event all weekend, and he's just doing the family thing right now. So it's all good. So thank you, Jimmy, for being there for us. So thank you so much for supporting the BFW and supporting our show. So thank you. But that was Scott Fraser. Like I said, see everything is always written around something that has always happened. So that's a super cool song. And I know that he played another song live the other day on our other show. So I'm hoping that he's going to be back on my show here soon, so we can actually get him, because I know he was going to have his release party, and he actually has his own record label as well. So this is going to be super, super awesome. So it's all good. But here we go. So hope you guys enjoyed that song, and a little bit later, we might play another one from him a little bit later on. It should. I believe I have another one from him. So I sure do. Yep, I do. It's called Do or Die. We'll play it a little bit later. So we're good. But wanted to talk about, I know I left off earlier with a kind of, I don't know, kind of a somber note in regards to that story, but like I said, it's always good, to have something written down, and if you're not into carrying pen and paper, if you have an iPhone, you definitely are able to write down. I have an app, an app already through Apple that is, it's a journal. Write down your thoughts or whatever. If you want to do, um, the voice notes, you can just do the same thing too. And then just write yourself a note on there, or excuse me, speak the note, and then get it out. Whatever you're feeling at that moment in time, it's there, man. I really truly recommend it, to do something like that, because it's therapeutical. And it seems like I'm not really saying anything right now, but I'll tell you what, and I know Grizz, if he was here, he would be able to attest to this, that sometimes talking to an empty mic has some type of um therapeutic things. You know what I mean? Like it helps you um through certain things that you do, you're going through. Um, it might not be anything at all. You might be feeling, weird or whatever. I'm telling you, seeing yourself in in a screen like this, and then looking back at it, you're like, man, I remember what I was talking about. I remember what I was thinking at that moment in time, and it was like, it was, I was in a weird headspace. It was good, but um, it was awesome. So having this platform for me, it helped out a lot. And if you know anything about me, or know, like, I've always been called the Chatty Cathy, and for whatever reason, it's helped me. You know what I mean? Helped me through some dark times, and I'm pretty quick witted sometimes, and sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I might go a little farther than what 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 I can handle sometimes, and you just have to be willing to accept. Whenever you can dish it out, you have to be able to take it. So you have to be very what's the word? You just have to be accepted of everything. Like I was talking earlier, agree to disagree, right? You may have a different, different perception of me, and I might have a different perception of you. But it's all in good fun. I was once told that if I'm not making fun of you in front of you, and I make fun of you regardless, I mean, that probably means I like you. Um, if I make fun of you like way too much, we might have a problem. So, but it's I always try to do it in good fun, and like I said, just talking about it, joking about it, it helps out. So having this platform is it's all good. So, but here we are. The phone lines are open 720-619-0627. Call the studio. We will be able to answer. We will be taking calls if you guys want to call in and just BS. We can do that. I mean, again, this is a free space. MBR, Military Broadcast Radio, is giving veterans a voice. And as you can see, mine is back finally after a few weeks. I actually almost lost my voice completely from being at the AB Quintanilla show when he was here. It was one of those things, man. It was such a great show, and I can't not stress to you guys enough how much fun I had. And it was just super fun, and I cannot wait. And uh, when I looked at his Instagram from AB Quintanilla, he was going on a South American tour. And if you guys don't know who AB Quintanilla is, that's Selena's brother. You guys, the movie Selena from that Jennifer Lopez was in, pretty much like launched her career. He is the brother of Selena. He was a bass player, and in his own right, he's actually super famous on his own right. And he posted the video of the where he was here, and he didn't want to leave the stage. It was obviously noise noise pollution after 10 o'clock, and he had to go. But that was the only other show that he posted. There was only two shows, one another place in Texas, and then this one here. Um, so he did post that video though when he was here, and he had such a good time. He said he was having such a great time. It, you know, it wasn't a small venue, obviously. It was in a park, but they usually put barricades right up to right up in the about 5 feet away from the stage, or 10 feet away from the stage. He had them move those barriers or those barricades all the way up to the edge of the stage. It got so bad that some lady ended up going up on the stage, and I was like, "Oh my god." I could not believe that this person was actually up there just like, lady, he was like, "Hey, you could electrocute yourself, drunk, and people were just not having a good time." And you could tell he wasn't irritated. He was just like, "Hey, come on, like, be respectful. We will get to you guys. We'll do shout outs and everything like that." But man, some of these people had like no clue, and they're all up there and dancing and doing whatever. But that lady kind of went a little overboard, and it was it was bad. It was really bad. Um, um, yeah, but yeah, he was our show was the only other one that he actually posted things on. So it was super cool. It was super cool. So all right. Hey, we're gonna do our top of the hour. We are gonna do the broadcast, the radio identification that we have to do now. So I know Grizz would be like, he's like, "Hey, you got to do this right now." So I just got, in the spirit of Grizz not being here, I have to keep his memory alive since he ditched me tonight because he's got to do his fatherly duties. And I'm not mad at him because I would have done the same thing. But this is my show and not his, so I have to be here. So we'll do that. But we're gonna come back. We're gonna play another song, and then we are going to come back and we'll do the top of the hour stuff. So stay tuned. They are listening to the Battle Rhythm Podcast on Military Broadcast Radio.
There's a bottle on the dresser by your ring. It's empty, so right now I don't feel a thing, and I'll be hurting when I wake up on the floor, but I'll be over it by noon. That's the difference between whiskey and you. Come tomorrow, I can walk in any store, it ain't no problem. And they'll always sell me more. Your forgiveness, well, that's something I can't buy. Is there anything that I can do? That's the difference between whiskey and you. One's a devil, one keeps driving me insane. At times I wonder, they ain't both the same, and one's a liar. Helps to hide me from my pain. One's a long gone bit of truth. That's the difference between whiskey and you.
I got a problem, but it ain't like what you think. I drink because I'm lonesome, I'm lonesome cause I drink. I don't break down, bring it on myself. It'll head out of the blue. That's the difference between whiskey and you.
One's a devil, one keeps driving me insane. At times I wonder if they ain't both the same. One's a liar, helps to hide me from my pain. One's a long gone bit of truth. That's the difference between whiskey and you. Oh, that's the difference between whiskey and
Introducing LT Defense Tactical Gear, your ultimate solution for top-notch protection and performance in the field. Our armor bundles provide unmatched safety and comfort, while our battle belts and holsters ensure quick and easy access to your gear. Stay prepared for any situation with our high-quality medical supplies, designed to keep you ready for action at all times. Looking to enhance your skills? Our firearms training programs will take your proficiency to the next level. Trust LT Defense for all your tactical gear needs and gear up for success on the battlefield.
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Welcome back to the Battle Rhythm Podcast on Military Broadcast Radio. That was Sean Franks with a version of Whiskey and You. Great song. great song, and I really do like that version. Um, he's a personal friend of mine, and I actually told him that not to get his head all the way up there because he's actually really good. And he plays shows around here locally, so he's super super cool. But we'll go from there. And I told him that hey, when I have a another show, I've been trying to get him on the show for quite a while, but our schedules haven't been able to sync up. So we'll eventually he'll be finding his way to the show, and it'll be fun. But we'll see how that's gonna go. I tell him sometimes like I don't know if you want to. I don't know if you ever want to come on. He's like, yeah, well, I work a lot. I was like, I don't care if you work a lot or don't work at all. He's like, oh, I gotta get up at 3:30 in the morning and go to work. I was like, dude, so do I. And then you're not telling me anything new. I'm here, and until 10 o'clock every night. So thank you guys for staying up with me tonight. It is a pleasure to be bringing you a bit of nothing on this show today. My original guest was not able to make it today, so we're gonna have to do with what we do what we do what we do. So it's fun. It's fun. I like being on the air with you guys, and if you guys want to come in, or sorry, if you guys want to call in, please do so. It is 720-619-0627. The phone lines are open, have been open, and if you guys want to call in, talk about anything, we are here. We have gotten some comments from our people out in the socials. So thank you, Into the Weeds podcast. Thank you for listening. Yeah, I am on fire because I don't have any guests today, so I am on fire. Yeah, well, you know what? This one was earlier. You're loving it, but now I'm on fire, so it is what it is. Uh, Jake Skelton, thank you for listening. I know that you posted this one. I think when we had the original patriotic song, which I will reaffirm, and I will say that that song for me has taken over the Lee Greenwood song, um, uh, "Proud to Be an American." Just I don't know, I just feel a little bit better. Maybe because I've been listening to Lee Greenwood for years. This one brings a little bit different light, and I think I identify with this one a little bit better than I did with the other one. So thank you for listening. So we'll be good to go, good to go. So man, everybody, tonight I don't know. It's weird. Like tonight just feels one of those like an off night. Not because we didn't have a guest or anything like that. It just feels like an off night. I've been trying to book another guest. I know it's like last minute. I was like, hey, help me out here. It was like, oh, dude, I wish I could do it. Like it's like last minute. My buddy, a good friend of mine. So he and I used to have a another podcast together about um, soccer, football, and his schedule changed, so I haven't been able to do that show in over almost like 7 months, I think, 7 or 8 months. Actually, no, I apologize. It was actually before the year, and that was the last time we actually were able to actually do anything. But he got a new job, and so his schedule kind of changed, so we have not been able to do that. I don't know. Does anybody follow the Premier League, the English Premier League? So I've been a United fan for a very very long time, since the class of '92. Those guys, uh, man, you had Paul Scholes, um, Ryan Giggs, such a great class that day. Um, that year they had such a great class, and the great careers came out of there. Anyway, that was during Sir Alex Ferguson's tenure as the longest running manager in Manchester United history. He would be, I think he would be appalled right now at how the season's going. I mean, we lost against Liverpool this weekend. It was not a pretty sight, and I was actually watching the game on Sunday, and before the first half was over, 40th minute, 2 goals, or we were down 2-0. I think we ended up losing 4-0, but I was like, by the time the third one came, I was like, all right, I'm done. We are leaving. We're doing something else. And I could not believe the fact that we were losing that bad. And it's, if you follow international soccer, the current assistant coach is Ruud van Nistelrooy, who had a great career for the Netherlands, international play for country, and he also had a great career in the Premier League. Um, and it was so sad to see that they were just, oh man, I don't know, like the whole thing was, it was a bad game, and I just wish that we could turn around, we could have those glory days again. And I know I'm probably talking like a Raider fan right now because and a Cowboy fan because we're I'm starting to live in the past, and all I'm trying to say is that I wish that we were back in that era where we had good, a good head coach, and the way that we were playing was just um, better. And I think any sports fan will actually appreciate that because I know that sometimes we live in the era. It's like, oh, I wish Kobe Bryant was still playing, and or wish Michael Jordan was still playing. That was the day of like that was the real NBA back then because it was just much more physical, not like now everybody's worried about shooting guards and things like that. And even today, I was having a conversation with my boss, who he's a huge Chicago Cubs fan, and he's from Chicago, and so we were talking about it, and I one of the former players from the LA Dodgers, Trevor Bauer, he actually ended up having he was investigated last year or a couple years ago for misconduct, and ended up being that he was being coerced and blackmailed and stuff like that. But he still got he got kind of banned from Major League Baseball, and so he had a great time he had a great years in Japan afterwards, and now he's playing in Mexico in the professional league down there. And he had for the second time he had an immaculate inning. If you don't know what an immaculate inning is actually a perfect inning, meaning that you face three batters and you throw nine pitchers, so three pitches per, so strike, strike, strike for three consecutive times, and it was just the craziest thing to see that he had a second immaculate inning in the season, and he's pitching ridiculously well. So I hope that he gets his chance, and he gets his demons under control. He's able to just be a ball player. But what I was trying to get to is that the and I'll bring the Dodgers as an example. The Dodgers have been analytically doing a lot of playing with statistics and analytics for for the last 10 years. One thing that we were talking about, it was that back in the day, when you had your Nolan Ryans or you had like Fergie Jenkins, that were pitchers, these guys were pitching 13 innings or 420 something innings a year, right? And you didn't hear about all these pitchers going down with injuries with the Tommy John surgery. So if you don't know what Tommy John surgery is basically your a ligament in your elbow um, comes attached, and you have to go rebuild it. And the surgery is obviously the recovery is excruciating because you have to rebuild the whole thing. But you are seeing all this because the pitchers nowadays are so much more worried about rotation and how many RPMs you can get onto that, and how it makes the pitch go and everything. And back then, that was not the case. They were not really worried about anything like that. They were just pitching the ball. Obviously, yeah, they had great players like Nolan Ryan had a great fastball. I mean, I think not long ago, a couple years ago, I think. Oh, don't quote me on this, but I think he's at a 78 or 75 or something like that. He was still throwing heat at 85 at 70 years old, and I mean, where else do you hear that? You know what I mean? This guy was such a dominant player. And another one that we were talking about was Greg Maddux, who they called him Professor. This guy knew he didn't throw hard, didn't throw. There was really nothing exceptional about his throwing. What made him a great pitcher is his location of the pitches, how he's able to manipulate and actually get into those pitches and be able to locate those pitches. And he was painting the entire frame all over the place. So that's what made him a great pitcher, that he was able to do that. And man, it was just, again, I'm living in the past, but those were great pitchers. And I hate to say it, the fact that, now they're worried about analytics and, things like that, rotation and RPMs and, on the how many rotations you get on the ball, and they're forgetting to play baseball. Everybody's weird about the long ball. Everybody wants to hit home runs, and it's just like, man, baseball, any sport really has changed a lot. As time goes by, they change a lot. So yeah, that's my 2 cents for that today. And it's a show about anything and anything today. So, I hate to admit it, but it's just like, I do wish that sometimes we were back in, seeing great players back in the day, like, like Michael Jordan and Kareem, and those rivalries they had in the '90s with the Bulls and the Detroit Pistons, and man, that was just yeah, it's different. It was different. So yeah, we'll see how it goes, but we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna come back and talk about much more of anything, of nothing. So we're gonna come back and talk a little bit more of that and a bit more of this. But right now, we're gonna listen to another great song from another great artist. So stay tuned. We'll be back in a few seconds.
That desert sun, it burns my eyes. It burns your picture in my mind. It brings the chaos that I find. Feels like I'm running out of time. Heartbreaker, you ain't gonna break me down.
opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
All right, welcome back to the show, and I have a very special guest with me today. There he is, the past and former state commander of the Department of Texas, Mr. Lynn Toomer. How are you doing today, sir? I don't think we cannot hear you. I think your mic might be turned off. Nope. You're. Huh. Nope, we can't hear you through at all. Let me see. Let me see what's going on here. Let me do this. I'm gonna call you from the 7719 number, and then hopefully we'll be able to get you through there that way. I don't understand why it's doing that. So let's do this. Yep, and then yep. Or do the mic settings. Nope, no, you're good. I don't understand why it's not going through, but let's do this. Log out completely, and then come back in, and then hopefully we'll be able to get you through again. There it is. I can hear you now.
All right, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, sir. How are you doing?
Outstanding.
Are you guys at a post meeting today?
Yes, sir. We just finished the post meeting at VFW Post 9190 in Haltom City, Texas.
The father is that it? Oh, hey, how you doing, sir? Welcome to the show.
Thank you. My name is Jay Robertson. I'm a member here at. I'm a life member here at Chapter Post 9190.
Well, thank you for having us.
Hey, he's an air winger.
Oh, are you a Marine as well?
No, I'm Air Force, retired Air Force.
Oh, okay. Well, Lynn, you're disappointing me. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. You're not disappointing me at all. Welcome to the show. I hope your post had a great meeting today. Matter of fact, we had our post meeting as well today. So September is always full of surprises.
Right.
Let's just say that. So, how have you been? I haven't talked to you in a couple of weeks, couple of months actually. You doing all right? The candidacy is going well.
Oh yeah, we're kicking butt. Still doing a lot of traveling. I actually had this weekend off, and I'm off next weekend. So I'll be home for a week solid, being able to sleep in my own bed, and that's been incredible.
I'm sure the dog's like, who is this guy?
I can't have any more dogs until I quit traveling so much.
Yeah, I'll give you one of mine. We have 9, and I'm like, all right, we're done. We need no more. And somehow, like, my wife is Pocahontas, and she wants to rescue every one of them. So don't tell her I said that. It's not public. So
yeah.
But we will actually be seeing you come next week on Sunday the 15th. We will be at the Benbrook Post doing the Rec March that you guys are actually conducting.
Yes,
so
sir.
That's going to be fun.
Yeah, that's our annual it's our 4th annual suicide awareness 5K Ruck March. We got a 1 mile kids fun run, and it's around the beautiful Lake Benbrook. So come on out and have some fun.
That's right. If you want more information, please go to the BFW website, the Benbrook. If not, I will have it also on my website as well. It's on their Facebook for the look for the Memorial Benbrook BFW post. They should have all the information in there. You can actually register for the event as well, and you guys can come out here and come out there and walk. And if you have kids, you can have them run and give them lots of sugar, and they can actually go in real fast. Is there any prizes for whoever comes in first?
Yeah, you get a nice medal. We're gonna have hot dogs and hamburgers, all kinds of good stuff.
Are you guys having a band this time?
Absolutely.
The last time we had your post, it was for your campaign. So you had a pretty good band that day. Are you guys? Is it the same band that's going to come out here this time?
No, this is going to be Taylor Bonham. He's one of our post members, and he's also a member of the Country Music Hall of Fame here in Texas. He started out working at the VA hospital teaching guitars for heroes.
There you go.
And he just ended up starting his own band, and he won the VFW National Music Competition. He's played in New York with the Philharmonic.
Oh man.
Yeah, you wouldn't expect that from a country music singer, but he made it happen. He's an incredible guy.
That's good. Well, maybe I'll have him on the show one day, for him to actually get his talents out on here, and we'll feature his stuff on there. So, I want to point something out real quick though. This segment is brought to you by EGA Construction Services, as you can see on the shirt. That is his construction company, and he is a gracious person with supporting my podcast and supporting this channel. So thank you to EGA and Mr. Lynn Toomer for your support on our podcast and on what we do and say. So again, you're a friend of our shows, and you always be welcome to come. So thank you for accepting a very last minute invitation to the show.
It was quick. I even called in Air Force for backup.
You did. He brought you in, and he even gave you I'm sure he gave you the fuel too.
Hell yeah!
There we go. So, I know you guys just came back from Georgia, didn't you?
Oh yeah, we were in we've been to Georgia, South Carolina, you name it. We just came back from the national convention.
Right. So, no, but I'm saying after the national convention, you guys were just, I think last week and the week before, you guys were out in Georgia. I saw some of your posts. You guys were sad to see what was it? A very famous ice cream shop no longer. You had to get at the airport.
Yes. Leopold's ice cream.
Right.
We had never had it before, but when we got there, they told us how good it was. And I mean, it was in the hotel, it was everywhere. So we went down to the Leopold store, where they actually make it. And man, that stuff is just incredible. Never had ice cream so creamy in my life.
Oh man. I just for any diabetic that's on the show right now and they're listening to this, just support our habit. Thank the VA for this.
Go to Leopold's and you'll be hooked. Once I tasted it, just a little shot thing of it at the hotel. A little taster.
Right.
And I went to the store every single morning from then on. So for 5 days straight, I was at that store first thing in the morning.
Oh, hey, did you become you remember that movie Old School where you become like Frank the Tank? You're like, once it hits the lips, it's just all over, right?
Oh, I'm telling you. Even my wife liked it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was some good stuff.
Yeah, well, we're looking forward to seeing both of y'all here in the next couple of weeks. So my wife she told me. So the day before, I don't know if I told you or not, the night before, we're going to be at the Kane Brown concert. Yeah, and then we're going to go to the Benbrook. We're going to be either A, tired, or B, well, I don't know if we're going to be drinking because we're taking my daughter, our 6-year-old. She's going to come with us, and actually it's her first concert. And I don't know if she's spoiled or not, but she's going to be on the second row.
Nice.
So she's going to take a banner, or one of those banners, be like, "Hey, it's my first concert. Pick me up and let me say hi," or whatever. She'll sing a song. So we'll see how it's going to be. But we're going to be super tired. But we're also very excited about going to the Rock March because we've been looking forward to it for several months now. So let me ask you, sir, a question. How long have you been a member of the VFW?
Are you talking to?
I'm talking to you. Yep.
4.5 years.
4.5 years. And you said, did you retire from the Air Force?
I did.
Okay. So what was it that drew you to an organization like the VFW?
I finally just, my first 10 years I was out, I really didn't do things. I just kind of didn't do sport organizations. And I got to a point where I really wanted to start getting involved. And the VFW is with minutes from my house, literally. This one's less than 5 minutes from my house, and I thought, I could have picked the Legion, but I just wanted to do the VFW. So I came down here, and they welcomed me with open arms, and this is a great little post here. Really good post that I'm at.
What is one of the biggest things that you really love about the organization?
The people are so friendly. Everybody just talks to you like they've known you their entire life. Many of you have a lot of common interests, so it just seems like you don't meet a stranger here. You just do not meet a stranger in this post.
I'm going to ask you a tough question.
Yes, sir.
If you were a state commander for a day, what could you change, or what would you change?
I don't really know if I'm educated enough to
No. This is my question. It doesn't matter if you're educated or not. If you were the state commander for one day, what would you change to improve the VFW?
I guess I would work on trying to get our message out, specifically to veterans, so that we could get more vets back into our organization. We have some vets here, but I'm in the DFW area. There are veterans all over this place.
1.5 million.
And we don't have that many in our VFW post. And I'm not saying 1.5 million vets are all qualified for it, but I believe significantly more than what we have in the state qualify for our organization. And so I would work to figure out collectively, what can we do to get more vets into our organization? That's what I would do.
And same question, but now at a more of a grassroots, what would you do to change your post?
So it's interesting you asked. That's why I came to this meeting tonight. I'm trying to get a little more educated because I work with a lot of veterans at my company. So I'm trying to figure out how to bring the message to them to say, why don't you come support us and the things that we do in our organization? We just did right here in our local post, we just did a big drive for animals, a local shelter for cats, dogs, toys, food, cages. So they took a lot of stuff right here from this little bitty post, and the organization, I don't think, completely understood what we were bringing. So they were just overjoyed with the stuff that our post brought. And I mean, toys, food, dry food, wet food, towels, things that they really, really needed and really helped the organization. So just the grassroots, the differences you can make in your local organizations really matter to me.
Right. Okay. So I'm going to bring another guest in, and this is a complete and total surprise to Lynn Toomer. But I want to welcome Willie Keller. He is the post commander from the Command Sergeant Major AAC Cotton 12209 in down in El Paso, right?
No, Fort Cavazos.
That's what I said. Willie, thanks for coming on. And look who I have on the screen there for you. It's our past state commander, Lynn Toomer, who
that's no longer his name.
No, past state commander.
No, that's no longer his name.
Okay, what is it?
It's Mr. Hell Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hey, we better trademark this because I'm just telling you, it's gonna bring some money. And we're gonna do that. So we got to do that for sure. But you've been on the campaign trail for him in several states, right?
Yes.
How's that? How has it been received from other states when you talk about Lynn and what he's bringing to the organization?
Well, it's a little different for me. I can't speak for everyone's experience, but for Georgia, that's why I went for Georgia. It helped me out on the backside because my mother was in the hospital. And it's like, hey, man, we'll help you out. If you can do this for me while you're there, hey, not a problem.
Right.
So when I got to Georgia, I wasn't really an outsider. And so when I'd have run around the U.S. with the VFW, just popping up in VFWs. And if you're not really from that state, they're not really going to deal with you. So it was a lot of love. And I've seen people I actually served with there in Georgia.
Right.
So they were a lot of more in turn. Every state does things a little bit different. I would say that. But
I think every post thinks differently.
but
Let's be honest.
I dig Lynn's character, and for me, knowing him, we had a lot of personal conversations, even some at 3:00 in the morning, just talking about VFW, and I could actually share that with the comrades there in Georgia.
Yeah.
And it's crazy some of the conversation that came about, and I was able to discuss it with them, talk with them from all walks of life, all branches.
Right. What I was just asking them a question, and Lynn Toomer was already our state commander, but I asked our other guest here. You're obviously a post commander now, and you've been a post commander for a few years, I believe. If you were if you were state commander for a day, what would you change in the organization?
That's a hard question to ask, because what I've noticed about watching the VFW, being around, I think I just hit my 30-year mark in the Veterans of Foreign Wars. You have no idea what you're getting yourself into until you get in that seat.
Right.
He didn't tell me that, but I've watched others, like when they come in, it's like, boom, gotcha. So we can say things that we want to change.
He said, by the way, oh yeah,
hey, here's your pile of shit.
Right.
And you said everybody has great intentions, but this for me, not being in the state lineup, heavy is the head that wears the crown, because you cannot share everything with everybody.
Right.
You are the final decision within that jurisdiction.
Right.
So I couldn't. But one thing I would say for me, Willie Keller, what I would do is focus more on the active duty and veterans in the state of Texas, because knowing that the National Guard has the largest division in the United States Army.
Correct. So, with that said, I know your post is very unique in that sense, right? Because your post is actually on a active duty post, right?
Yes.
So, and I know we've had conversations before in regards to your members. I mean, you have 2, 3 stars. I mean, maybe even a 4-star in your ranks, right?
Oh, we got 2 of those.
Yeah. So if you need something done, it's like, I got it. Hey, Willie will take care of it. Don't you worry.
In the words of Lynn, well, hell, I'm getting muscle fatty. I just kept on damn saluting all this damn brass around.
There's a lot of it down there.
But I mean, that's just the uniqueness of the VFW. I mean, you have such a melting pot of everything. So having, like you said, having that active duty, and a lot of these guys are still active duty, right?
Yes, we have members in other states, other countries. Some joined because they served with Sergeant Major Cotton, and some joined because they didn't want to be around the alcohol or smoking. That other perception of what they have at the VFW that we're trying to change.
Right.
So I have people that have emailed me about wanting to join the VFW, specifically 12209.
Yeah. So tell me the story about Sergeant Major Cotton.
Sergeant Major Cotton, man, let me take my hat. I respect the hell out. I got to live. I was with him for a lot of days before he passed.
Mm-hmm.
He was the first minority division sergeant major, which Lieutenant General Funk made the endorsement. They served together in 194th Armor Regiment. He's from Mississippi. He first signed up to go into the Navy. That's a whole nother story right there. He was at MEPS at Pine Bluff, Arkansas. I sat with him so many times and got a lot of stories. But he gave me a lot of things that we take for granted today. A lot of us want to throw out the race card, but one thing he had to do, and he shared me a lot of stories. Being a black leader, you could not write up a subordinate of a different race. Then he told me how it was dealing with the Code of Military Justice before they came out with the Uniform Code of Military Justice.
Mm.
And that was something that the VFW fought for, because you go from one battalion to another battalion, you have different codes.
Yeah.
He was there before the NCOES system, so he was an intricate part of establishing the non-commissioned education system.
Wow.
So a lot of things, if you go to First Cav, they're big on pageantry, legacy, and history. Before him, they did not put the enlisted advisors on the wall when they put the generals up on the wall, past generals. So he went up there and got pictures of all the past command sergeant majors. for 1st Cavalry Division and put them on the wall, and their history goes along with it.
Nice.
That is, see, those are the stories that a lot of people don't hear about, don't know about, right? And it takes someone like you that sat with him and was able to record this type of history, those anecdotes that people don't really hear about these stories, right? And those are the type of stories that people need to know about, that not only that person, but really about the VFW, because the VFW, being one of the oldest veteran organization in the United States. I mean, heck, we established the VA. We established a lot of different things that were able to do that. So setting precedents for the rest of history, or sorry, the rest of the organization. It's just huge. So
and I'll send you some of his videos, because we have the National Mounted Warrior Museum groundbreaking here, grand opening on the 18th. And so they actually have videos, and they solicit all service members to submit a video or to come down and get filmed and be put on the archives in that National Mounted Warrior Museum.
Wow.
It's not focused on generals, it's focused on platoon, company, and battalion level maneuvers.
Yeah, that's huge, because like I said, we're the military itself has so many customs and courtesies and and traditions that some of them kind of go unnoticed, some of them are kind of being phased out, or not even being acknowledged anymore. And for me, being a part of the tradition, I mean, that's always huge, right?
But let me tell you, one thing is coming to mind right now.
Yeah.
Lynn was a very intricate part of assisting me with getting this post established. Dick Sharver was the department commander that gave me the go ahead and do it. But Lynn was like, I was say, hey, my advisory board, when I was pissed or running across a brick wall, Lynn was like, hey, let me know. I could always call him for guidance. So he would come down to, at that time, Fort Hood. We had a 2-star change of command ceremony. Or either it was a 102-year anniversary. So you did the national anthem and you do the calf song. So we have the band, the horses running, and the calf song. And at the end of it, everybody knew to get quiet. Lynn was like, hell yeah! Everybody like, what the
fuck? Like anything else, right? Yeah. We know when Lynn's into the house. Yep, we already know that.
But I was nervous at first, but I'm like, that's us. No matter the branch, you feel the motivation and dedication to people have laid their lives down before you, and he felt that in his heart. That's the only thing he could come out of his mouth was, hell yeah. And a lot of them that were here then will forever remember that.
Right. So right now, just so you know, between the four of us here, all 4 services are being represented. We don't count the Coast Guard, because those guys
that's Department of Transportation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And after a while, it was actually the Department of Interior. So whatever. But between the 4 of us, all the 4 branches are actually represented right now. So which is weird, because well, not weird, but the one thing that I'll say this is that as much as we make fun of one another, we don't let anybody else make fun of us, right? It's like it's just the way it is. It just like we say, hey, like Lynn when he introduced our other guest, he said, "Oh yeah, I brought the Air Wing with me." I'm like, "Who's a Marine Air Wing?" He's like, "No, he was Air Force." I was like, "Oh, okay. Like, you mean he brought you? He flew you in. You make sure that you're on the air. I got you." And then you jumped in, and I'm here I am. I did a deployment literally right after 9/11 with the Navy.
Okay.
My ship was the first one that responded to after 9/11. And then we ended up going up to Afghanistan, and then we were pretty much bombing the entire thing, as soon as we got there. So right after 9/11, I think September, October. October, November, we left in November, and we got there and then relieved the other carrier that was there. But that was right after 9/11. And, some of the greatest memories that I have are with that. And, I think for a lot of us, the reason why we join these type of organizations is because we miss that camaraderie, right? We miss making fun of one another. How many stupid things did you do when you were in service?
Right.
Right. I'm just glad that I am not in the new generation where we are recording everything and we are doing all this stuff. right? Like, we had the FAFO, fool around and find out.
Right.
And we for us, it was like, it was not documented. It never happened. It happened, but it never happened because it was not documented like nowadays. But my point is that the reason why we all joined this type of organization is because we want to have the same experience that we had at that point. And I don't know if it's true for you guys, but for me, when I talk to one of my soldiers that I deployed with 10 years ago, I will pick up where we left off 10 years ago. And we're talking like, oh yeah, I remember this and that. And it's just like, as if we've been together, the entire time. I don't know if that's the same thing for you guys, but that's been my experience where when I talk to somebody from the end. Is that the same for you guys?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I don't know what happened.
Wow, man, you missed my whole point. That's what happened. No, I was just playing. I was just saying that like I could talk to one of my soldiers from 10 years ago, and we'll pick up right where we left off 10 years ago.
Oh.
Is that something that happens to you when you talk to somebody that you served with?
Yes, but
it's just one of those things, right? It just happens.
It's because I'm actually at the age right now where some of the people I serve with are still serving.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And so that's one thing that has assisted me with getting the post started out there. A lot of the senior leaders we serve it, so we already have that history.
Yeah.
Or some of the guys, even when I go to the national convention, I see them as like, we say some derogatory terms to each other, but it's endearing.
Yeah. But we say it in a nice way.
Yeah.
I said respectfully.
Yeah. And the people serve with, chew the same dirt with.
Yeah.
You can say certain things to each other that other people can't say. I.e., you can talk about the Army, I'm gonna talk about the Navy, but if you never lace up these boots or ever served a day in the military, you can't say a damn thing.
Right. So, all right. So before I let, I know that Lynn and has to go because Karen's probably already texting me like, "What are you doing? Why you're not home yet?" So I wanted to say, Lynn, thank you so much for joining us today. I promise you that on Thursday, when I see you on Thursday, we'll have a conversation. And I'll make sure I have my mics with me, so we'll have a little conversation there as well, and then we'll do a little bit here and there. So thank you so much for joining me today. I know it was last minute, and I appreciate you taking the time to come and BS with us for a little bit.
No problem, Caesar. Anytime you need me, just give me a holler.
I know, and please tell Karen I'm sorry, and tell her that it's on me. It was my fault.
I'm gonna tell her you kept me out all night.
Yep. Blame it on secret.
I'll take the brunt for it. I got you. I got you. All right, guys, thank you so much. Willie, stay with me real quick. I still want to ask you a few more questions, but Lynn, I know you got to get going for that. So thanks so much for joining me.
All right, brother. Y'all have a good one.
You too, sir.
Yeah.
All right. So Willie, yeah, that dude is he was at a different pose. I was like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm in a post meeting. I was like, oh my God. Why did you tell me? You could have just said no.
He's that type of gentleman, man. He's that type of guy.
Karen told me a story one time that he is so he will take his shirt off his back. And with that said, she said who told me? I don't know if it was her. Somebody told me, I think it was maybe it was Eddie Terry. He said that there was a veteran that was struggling financially, and his vehicle had either broken down or got repossessed or whatever it was. Gave him his vehicle that he had. He's like, here you go. Here's the truck. Go to work. Do what you got to do.
He's that guy.
Dude, it's like the guy never stopped serving.
Man, we had one of the commanders. I can't remember the unit, but it was down in 1st Cavalry Division. They reached out to him as Department Commander. Eddie Terry, when he was the chief of staff, had a soldier passed away. That in the military, certain funds are restricted of what you can and what you can't do.
Right.
They reached out to me, reached out to Eddie, and they wanted to get like the bracelets of a fallen soldier.
Okay, yeah.
So Lynn, they were like, hell yeah, we're going to do it. We say this all the time. No one does more for veterans than the VFW. But a lot of times over the years, I've seen us hide from making a stance.
Yeah.
When it's easy to make a stance when things are good, but it's hard to make one when it's not. He's like, we're gonna take care of it. He looked to the department office, hey, make it happen. Those soldiers will ever remember that. I had an E6 come to me last week. He was an E4 then. He done went to Korea, a couple other places, and came back. And he still has that bracelet. He was like, man, thank you. He said, he said, I need an application for the VFW. He said, I'm gonna take it home, read it over with my wife. I remember you told me to watch the videos of VFW history. He said, I'm all in, but I do not spend funds without speaking with my wife.
Yeah, smart man.
So he should be at my meeting on Monday to join.
Oh man, that's awesome. That's
So
awesome, dude.
He planted that seed.
Right.
So I don't know how many other seeds have got harvested in other areas, but that was an investment in the veteran reform wars.
Yeah, I tell the story, and this is a true story that my first state convention was at Choctaw. When he was actually became the state commander.
Oh,
that was my first state. That was literally, I had been in the VFW for like 3 months or no, May, 2 months, a month.
So you seen everybody in the shorts and flip flops.
Yeah, but he's truly been my first commander because the commander before him is like his last, hoorah, and he was like my first commander of that I had, and like at that point, he came to one of our post meeting, actually our district meetings that we had at my post, and because Eddie Terry was actually the keynote speaker that day, so it just shows up, and Eddie's like, "Thanks for stealing my thunder." He's like, "Hey, we're glad to have the state commander here." It was just funny. You know what I mean? Like they have that great relationship, and it was good. But yeah, I remember, and he was so approachable that not very many people are that way. Because some people are like, I'm the state commander, but I'm not approachable, whatever. But he's not. He's like super. He's all about serving. He's all about giving back, and
the same guy you met on the campaign trail was the same guy that got installed as department commander.
Yep.
Now keep in mind, I've been doing this since 95, so that's almost 30 years.
Yeah.
And I have seen a lot of that. You one-way campaign, and once you get to seat, you're different.
That's crazy. That's so crazy. That's
But
crazy.
yeah, I love it, and I'm glad he was, and I had some supporters of getting 12209 started. Not just it was a collective effort.
Right.
I'm glad it was a collective effort when it was time to come up with the money to pay for it, to get it.
But he was one of them.
We're starting off with nothing, so I'm glad there was other members around that were contributing to getting the insurance and everything like that. But
and I'm sure it takes a lot to actually start a post, right? I mean, geez, have you gotten an auxiliary yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
It's actually not hard to start a post. 25 members with 10 or 15 being new or reinstated over 2 years. 2 years and 1 day. That was not the hard part. The hard part was maneuvering to get everything done properly on a federal installation. That was the hard part. We're still pending a facility right now. We have a place to meet at, but we don't have a VFW building on base.
But great things come to those who wait. You know what I mean? And patience is a virtue. I don't have any, so
it has made me learn when I was a commander before starting this one. I got into the program because I was frustrated with the canteen just dealing. That was 90% of my problems as a commander. So come here, I'm actually doing VFW programs, and it's allowing me to dig in. Let me know the intricate parts of the VFW programs. What do we actually do, or what can we do?
Yeah.
So I'm talking to people that's been in here years and years, and like, oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I just met with the garrison commander. That's not the 3-star, but the full bird. she's like the mayor of Fort Cavazos, formerly Fort Hood, of all the buildings and everything. And asked at me, we didn't had a lot of meetings, but never a formal meeting, because the one before her was a member, but we never had a formal meeting. So we did a layout, what the VFW is about. What have we done on this installation since we were chartered, January 7th, 2024. And she was blown out the way.
Yeah.
When we say we done been there for service members contemplating suicide, family members contemplating suicide, we have been there.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude, that you're able to do that. So, but hey, we're running out of time. But I do want to continue this conversation, and I hope that you can join us again at a later date.
Let me know. My apologies. I had another meeting with another organization.
No, don't apologize. And I thank you so much for coming out in the last minute, because my other guest that I had booked bailed out on me. But real quick, Sherrod Conyers from Georgia.
Rangers lead from the front.
So I'll tell you a quick story. He was actually the post commander in Inglewood
that did his adopt a unit event with your unit.
With my unit. He was the post commander there. That post is no longer there because it got broken up because of political stuff. And I saw him at the national convention. I was like, "Are you?" He said, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh my gosh!" I showed him the picture of like us we took together as a unit and everything, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, like small world." I was like, "Yeah, it was because of you. I remember the VFW, and I didn't realize that I was actually able to join until this." And I saw him at the national convention. I was like, "Man, it's a small world." So things have come around, but he said that he wants to do it with you and him. He says it's probably gonna be comedy hour. I was like, you know what? I got you. I
don't think you're ready for that one.
Well, I'm gonna have to do some censorships, but yeah, we'll be able to do it. But are you able to do it next week?
What date? Next week is the Cavalry Division anniversary.
So we could do it in 2 weeks.
What day are you looking at next week?
My show is always on Tuesday. Tuesday from 8 to 10 Central. And I will let him know, and we could book it, and I'll send you guys all the invitation and everything like that. So it'll be 2 weeks from today.
Yeah, do 2 weeks, because on the 10th next week, I'll be prepping for my Ruck on Cavazos September 11th.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm going to be at Lynn at Memorial in Pembrokes on the 15th. Sorry. I'll be doing that one. So anyway, but yeah, in 2 weeks we'll be doing that. So I'll send out the invitation for you, and then we'll set it up for 2 weeks. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right, man. Hey, thank you so much for joining me. Again, you're listening to the Battle Rhythm Podcast on Military Broadcast Radio. I will be back next week with a brand new show, and we'll see you guys in a couple of weeks. We'll see Willie, and we'll have another guest, Sherrod Conyers. Like I said, he's from the Department of Georgia. Now, I don't know if he's a post commander or not, but
he is the state judge advocate.
Like I said, he's a state judge advocate. So we will have a little backstories on the Department of Georgia and how they roll to a national convention. So thank you guys for joining me. Again, we're a little bit out of time, so we will see you guys in a couple of weeks. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you again this season with Battle Rhythm Podcast on Military Broadcast Radio. We'll see you guys later.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans.